started. Can y'all see us and can y'all hear us? Because y'all know I love breaking technology. Hi, Chris Bates. LemarTheConGuy is on chat and on cast today. Are we seen? Are we heard? Are these things that can happen? Yes, we do. Thank you so much, RX Oliver. Right. Let's jump in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency in an attempt to bring a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. My name is Bridgett, and tonight we are back with a special edition of the Symphony Lounge. I have two special guests that are absolutely delicious. Do y'all see these men that are to my right and my left? Whew, they signed onto the Zoom chat and I've been distracted ever since. I have two guests that are with me tonight to unpack our experience at the By Night Studios Darkness Emergence event that just took place Veterans Day weekends in Las Vegas 2024. Two quick announcements before we start leaning into our backer questions, into our chat questions, and into the experience. One, Symphony Entertainment does have a Patreon, so if you like this content and you would like to help me create more of it, please consider backing us at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Also, I didn't think I was going to be able to knock off a giveaway with this one, but I most certainly am. When I was at Con on the Cob, that's actually the second to the last time that I saw Ernest. We were both at Con on the Cob in Northeast Ohio. One of my favorite dice dealers, which is Black Oak Games, gifted me this set of vampire stake dice that I am going to be giving away for this stream. So if you would like a chance at winning some very cool stake dice, enter into the chat. It's going to be !torpor. So that is going to be bang, TORPOR. Thank you so much for Lamar for that fun inspiration. And that will get you entered into the giveaway. Now, because shipping is the devil, I can only ship to the continental USA. However, if you are outside of that area, feel free to enter into the giveaway anyways, and then bless somebody else that's here locally. I'll ship it wherever you want to. So by all means, feel free to hop in on that bad boy. Good luck to all of our participants, and let us hop in with these guest introductions. So without further ado, LemarTheConGuy, this delicious piece of deliciousness that I met at Big Bad Con, I think 2 years ago at this point. Tell us who you are. Tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you, and Symphony loves to surprise people with questions. So your surprise question for this stream is, what is your favorite vampire clan and why?
Oh, easy. Top of the morning to you, last is both, neither, and everyone in between. My name is Lamar, aka LemarTheConGuy. I use he, him pronouns. I am a comedian, singer, actor. Give me attention, put me on camera, and I'll do it for you. I'm mostly known for running comedy at anime conventions and running karaoke at whatever convention it allows me to do. But I'm also getting pretty known in the TTRPG community, playing everything from Dungeons & Dragons to Pathfinder to VTM. Right now, I'm on Sama-Kun's channel playing in a game called The Worst Heroes You Know, being sponsored by Cobalt Press, where I get to play an adorably very sane, everyone loves her, and nothing ever goes bad, Grandma Nana Maisel. Darkness Emergent made 15, so I've been to 15 conventions this year, and that is it. And then in January, I'm going to be a program host at Anime Los Angeles here in Long Beach, California, which I've slowly leveled up from being just a random panelist to an official program host for them. I'm so excited and so nervous because my eyes are shit and they're going to make me read out loud in front of people, which is not a skill set that I have. Anyway, that was me fighting my imposter syndrome. And my favorite clan in VTM is the one I played this past weekend. I love the Malkavians. I've loved the Malkavians since the Green Book days. I think they are such an interesting clan. And yeah. I even like the fish malks. I know they're annoying, but I do love them.
Ooh, that's
because
a statement.
They have their place. You can play a good fish malk. You can. You just have to be good at it. You can play a good fish.
Look, my opinion about fish malk is that some of them are, fresh fish. Like, you go to the market stand, you buy a good fish. And some of them are like fish at work in the microwave.
Right.
Yeah. It's not that you're wrong.
It's not that you're wrong. It's just, you know.
Hey, aim for sushi. We're trying to eat sushi, not fish sticks. That's what we're aiming for.
Oh God.
I just don't. I'm talking about fish sticks. I'm talking about brother at work who comes to work, throws their fish in the microwave for all to endure.
For all to suffer and endure.
Right. Like that. That's the kind of like, it's not your mental maladies as a Malkavian.
Lost by Night has nerfed the Malkavian clan so much.
It's like spray and pay. My problem is everybody else's problem. Right. And that's the microwave experience,
Oh God!
I know.
I can smell the stream. Yuck. Ernest, lean in, baby. Take the stage. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, some of the things you do, and your surprise question is also, what is your favorite clan and why?
All right. Yeah. So my name's Ernest. Some other places I'm known as Hollow or HollowInvective. You can find me. At Blue Sky. HollowInvective at Blue Sky whatever. However Blue Sky makes things happen. And that place I love dead naming called Twitter. And
oh God.
Fire. I won't dead name anybody, but I will dead name Twitter. So you can find me there. I am also on channel. I'm also doing a guest run on channel Other Doc. I am running a TTRPG based on Yoon Ha Lee's Nine Fox Gambit, which is a story about hegemony and sacrifice and the cost of empire through the lens of using a calendar as hegemony. So all your high holy days, all of your birthdays, when the day of the week is, when hours occur, all that is governed by a empire-wide calendar, and that calendar dictates a lot of things about your life. It also gives you all of your empiric creature comforts. So it's like, how do we uphold empire? Because empire makes sure we get snacks. Damn it. So so very dark game, running that over on channel Other Doc on Tuesdays. Other than that, I was at Darkness Emergent recently, and I wasn't playing my favorite clan. I was playing a member of the Ministry, or Setites if you're familiar with old Argo. But my favorite clan probably is Clan Salubri.
Oh, okay. We like the Salubri, all right.
But playing Clan Salubri in V5 is kind of like super hard mode, because if you want to use any of your powers, you're risking yourself big time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like it. Yeah. All right, Lemar, Ernest, again, thank you both genuinely for trusting me, for coming onto the platform, and for talking about Darkness Emergence. I'm super excited to get in. So let's hit it, and let's hit it hard. So to avoid confusion to anybody that may have wandered in off of wherever, and you're just like, what the hell are they talking about? By Night Studios is an officially licensed publisher of the role-playing game called Mind's Eye Theater. So you can get a look at this bad boy right here. So we're basically talking about this. By Night Studio offers books, apparels, pins, and convention tickets. And they also offer this massive, immersive vampire LARP, which is live-action role-playing, a massive event called the Darkness Emergent. So from my understanding, and then you two or chat, correct me if I'm wrong, they launched the very first one in San Antonio. The second one was in Chicago. That's actually how I found out about it. We just wrapped up the third that's in Vegas, and number 4 is going to be Memorial Day weekend in Los Angeles. So this game is talking about World of Darkness, a series of tabletop role-playing games originally created by White Wolf Publishing. So guys, this is your Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf, Mage, Wraith, Changeling, things of that nature. Quick pause before we jump back into LARP and Mind's Eye Theater. Ernest, coach us really fast on exactly what the hell Mind's Eye Theater is. Like,
sure,
what are we talking about, babe?
So we're talking about Mind's Eye Theater, in this case, Laws of the Night. When Vampire or VTM, or when anything made in the old World of Darkness was created, it was created for the tabletop setting. So that's me, Bridgett, Lemar. We're sitting at a table, we're rolling dice. But there was this emerging set of LARPs, because you got Boffer LARP, that's the one everyone wants to make fun of, I throw my lightning bolt, it's like, okay, I'll hit you with a baseball sized packet, good day. Right. But, there was the emergence of parlor LARP, which is like, akin to murder mystery theater. So like you solve a mystery there, but Mind's Eye Theater, or MET, is playing the same game, but with a chronicle or a troupe of people between 10, 20, 30 or more people. So when you are playing that game, you need a faster set of rules, because not everybody can just run around and throw dice on the floor and all that whatnot. So someone at White Wolf, when they contracted out for Mind's Eye Theater, said, "Hey, what if we adjudicate things with rock, paper, scissors and some less complex rules?" So Mind's Eye Theater is a pared down, usually, version of tabletop. I won't get into that. That's like the 201 class.
We'll come back for that one.
We'll come back for that one. So it's a normally pared down version of tabletop. So you can embody your character, whatever clan or tradition or whatever splat you're playing, splat being creature type, and you play and adjudicate your wins and losses via rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
Win, lose. If there's a tie, there are trait values to sort of adjudicate who won or lost, and there's some permutations there. So that is MET in a nutshell. Pared down rules for the parlor LARP experience. You can sit down, have a character sheet in your pocket, not carry a bunch of dice, and the emphasis really is on the role play. Of course, things happen, stuff occurs, right?
Yep.
So you gotta shank somebody. I understand.
It happens. It'd be like that sometimes. This is World of Darkness, honey. We come here to suffer.
Sometimes you need to get stabbed.
Sometimes that guy needs to be stabbed.
Sometimes a guy falls down the stairs 5 times on a knife, and that just happened.
And it just happens.
So yeah, it's there. It's supposed to be convenient for you, and also because the rules are pared down. When you have storytellers adjudicating things, you're not looking through a million books usually for.
Thanks for the sub.
For your rules.
Amazing. Ernest, that was a beautiful articulation. Thank you. So guys, that's what we're talking about when it comes to this Darkness Emergence event that we just went to. So when you're thinking about Darkness Emergence, especially if you're looking at going to LA or any of their future shows, these are some of the things you can expect from the weekend packaging. They have keynote sessions and panels, 2 or 3 nights of the Darkness Emergent LARP. So you're actually, in character role playing, a full day of side LARPs, access to like happy hours and socials and meet and greets. And like, there was all type of shit at this one. There was like, you can go to the bar and have cocktails at something that was in the sky. Or like at one point at the end, after afters, they were serving lobster rolls, guys. They actually served us lobster rolls. My toes curl every time I think about that one. So there are signings, and they had vendors there that was selling things. They had makeup artists, professional photo shoots that you could buy as an add-on package. There was another designer there that was creating custom fangs. I mean, it's an entire experience inside and outside of the LARP event. They had 3 very special guests that were here, so you guys are going to recognize these names, and you'll recognize the photos when I post them here. But we had Alex Ward, Cynthia Marie, and then London Carlisle that were all brought in to portray non-player characters, so NPCs that were actually at the event. So absolutely stellar rollout, and we're going to get into it. But before we get into it, I'm going to show you guys a very brief video of the play space that we were actually in, and then we're going to come right back. So give me 2 seconds. You guys are about to watch all of 30 seconds on a video, and then we're going to jump into questions. We'll see you back here in a second. Okay, guys, so I am getting ready to hop into like an NPC storytelling meeting so we can talk about the plot that's going to be rolling out tonight. But I did want to give you guys a quick tour of the play space because, oh my God, check it. Guys, it's like a whole baby effing town. So this area of the casino is currently closed off for the time being. So it's boarded up. There's no access. Backstory on this, apparently the organizers of By Night Studios were like, hey, they were doing a tour of the Paris, and the head storyteller Jimmy was like, yo, what's behind this boarded up area? And they were like, oh, it's like this little town area we haven't used it in like 3 years. And she was like, yo, this is where we want to actually host it. Is this not incredible? So doors are going to be opening, I think, in like an hour.
Side area.
Okay, beautiful people, we should allegedly be back. So you got a quick tour of the play space. Thanks for sticking with that. So let's start off with our very first backer questions. Lamar, we're going to hit you first, and then we'll hop over here to Ernest. How did you hear about this event, and how did you get involved?
Yeah. So, I actually heard about it because some way, somehow, life has decided that I'm allowed to be friends with Cynthia Marie, and uh, I have talked to people about VTM before. VTM is actually the very first tabletop I ever played. Period. And she told me about LARPing and how she's into it, and she's like, "Hey, you should come." And I met one of the main storytellers. His name's Jimmy. And both of them said we actually come, and they finally went to a place that's not all of the money for me to go. So Chicago was all of the money. Vegas was just some of the money. But I sat down and I decided to go. Bought my ticket, got my hotel room, and then I just had good friends who were already kind of in this world who got me linked up with other people. I'm in a coterie with a bunch of people who are really deep into it, and they walked me through like character creation and how to do this, that, and the other, and it's so great. I live out in Los Angeles, so I also had people like, you need to put this, if this is your character, get this wig, get this outfit. So I had a lot of help, but I was friends with Cynthia, and she taught me about it and got me into it, and it was my very first LARP period ever at all. Ever. And I feel like it was the deep end of the water, but it was so much fun.
It was. Oh, honey, you took a big plunge on that one, honey. Woo!
Oh, big deep, 0 to 200 something people. Yeah.
Boy, you took a plunge on that one. And just a quick pause before we get to Ernest. Can we just say God bless Cynthia Marie? Can we just talk about thank you for the intentionality for that stunning woman to be able to connect with so many diverse creators and make a safe space for them to come and do things? She's in my third trash, so I'll lean in on how much I adore her later. But Ernest, how did you hear about this event? How did you get involved? Because you were an NPC.
I was doing some NPC work. Honestly, what V5 had been doing, as far as LARP had been really off my radar. And I was at another LARP, and someone said, "Oh man, wish I could go to that V5 LARP over in Chicago." And I'm like, "Say what now?"
Say what now?
And they're like, "Oh, well, it's this V5 thing in Chicago, and I really wish I could go." And I said, "Well, shit, I should go."
Yeah.
So I looked it all up. I with that scant amount of information I had from this person, bemoaning their wanting to go. So I guess I technically benefit off of someone's mild misery. So I went. I looked up everything, and I saw that the lead storyteller was Jimmy Reckett. And
Jimmy!
This wouldn't be this isn't my first LARP. Not my first LARP rodeo. I've been LARPing at this point since 2006.
Okay.
I had LARPed in the same organization as Jimmy for a long time, and I said, "Hey, man, what's up? Do you need anything? How can I help you facilitate this?"
Yeah.
I plan on showing up, and I'm going to be here one way or the other. But how can I help you facilitate any of this?
Yep.
And he said, "Oh, Ernest, I've got some stuff for you." And that was Chicago. That was Darkness Emergent, Chicago.
Yeah.
And I got to square off with B. Dave Walters. All night.
Yes, honey.
Great. And people really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed just kind of like chewing the scene and being around. But that's how I got started. That's how I heard about it. It fully answered your question. Someone else bemoaning, me doing a little research, call Jimmy, show up.
And then show up. Oh my goodness. So Ernest, my story is very similar to yours. I recently just got into my local One World by Night LARP here in Columbus. Couple of my friends, Nathan and Peter, ran out to not to Cincinnati, to Chicago, and came back and was just like, You have no idea what you just missed. It's disrespectful that you didn't go. How did you not do? So I was just like, okay, I'm going to the next one. I'm going to the next one. Then I saw it was Las Vegas, and I was like, I don't know if I can afford Las Vegas because, like, Lamar, that ain't across the street from me. That's way the fuck over there for me. So I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I was like, but you know what? I wonder if I could work the staff, if it could offset some of my costs or kind of help me in the background. So I messaged Jimmy in the blind. Now, granted, a lot of my LARPers, just like you, Ernest, knew Jimmy, but I had never met Jimmy before. I hit him up in the blind. I was like, hi, I'm Bridgett. I do LARP. I was the host of the Innies. I have an Innie. I perform. You got any work for me? And he was just like, yes. And I was just like, closed mouths get fed sometimes. Guys, all jokes aside, I've had this conversation on Symphony before. Some opportunities come across your desk. Some you need to go pound on somebody's door.
Absolutely.
Ernest and I knocked on the door and the door opened. Please, 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 please know that there are opportunities out there, but sometimes you actually have to get out there and be like, hey, I want it. Is it available? And just see what happens. The worst anyone can actually tell you is no. So that's how I actually got involved. So let's work around backwards. We'll do Ernest, Lamar. We'll finish up with me again. Who did you play at this event? Who was your character?
So my character at this event was one named Alam Boudre. I had a wonderful time being a member of the ministry. Whew. And apparently bothering everybody. Some people were bothered and some people were bothered.
I got the vapors.
Hot and bothered, honey.
I played that character in Chicago. I helped to secure the Vegas play space IC. So through a number of negotiations that night. So I helped facilitate the negotiators to do that and get Vegas for the Anarch movement. And when I came back for Vegas, I reprised that role as Alon, working under Elizabeth Dimitros, who is the child of Hesha Rosade from the Clan Sedite novel, and if you see the front of the Owad clan book, Sedite book, is the bald African Sedite with the monocle.
Yes. Chat is already thirsting over you, Ernest. I'm just going to go ahead and compliment it. Every damn day you came out looking better than the night before, and it was obnoxious. And I hate you because I was uncomfortable the entire night. You're so fun to look at.
Have to be done.
Lamar, baby, who did you play? I had so much fun engaging with your damn character. Tell us who you played, baby.
I played a fish stick. I played my last tabletop character. His name is Matthias. He has no last name because he does not want a last name. He is a Malkavian. He's based out of Chicago because that's where my tabletop game played. We played Chicago by Night. He is a Malkavian who really cares about those between homes, as he would say. I kind of just... He's great. He has the Milli Vanilli dreads.
Yes.
He did. He put the Milli Vanilli dreads. I got called Black Captain Jack Sparrow walking between the event to my hotel room at least 3 times. But Matthias' whole thing is that he believes the existence of vampires makes everything in the Bible true. Like, he's now locked in there because we exist. And he hates Cain, and he refuses to lie. His whole thing is he believes that the lie was the true sin, not the actual murder. Which makes it very hard to be a vampire when you will not lie. And I love that character so much. I just let my ADHD crank to 12
and run.
And just ran with it. And my desire to be noticed and interact just allowed me to... I created my own storyline, which was amazing, and the people I played with were so awesome, but I don't know how long he's going to live.
I'm surprised you got through this event.
I'm same.
And then, guys, I played Montgomery Wilkes. Jimmy was kind and trustworthy enough for me to create my entire own backstory, which was amazing. He just kind of gave me a tie-in. But so Theo Bell, London Carlisle, was playing one of the 3 leaders of the triumvirate of Las Vegas at this time. So I was playing his sweeper, which kind of, if you're in Cam lore, think of like the sheriff. And absolutely loved every moment of playing this very agitated, angry Bruja. I think one of the things that honestly helped my mental health a lot with embodying this character. Darkness Emergent started the Thursday following the elections results being announced on that Wednesday.
Yeah.
So being able to, one, travel and dissociate and like get into an immersive environment was just very therapeutic and very helpful for me. But also I was embodying a character that was angry, that was furious at the governmental structures that have silenced her, oppressed her, taken away from her, neglected her. Like one of my, and I'll get into this when we get into like our favorite scenes in nature, but just as a teaser, I got to play an angry character that was very passionate about certain ideals, that wanted everyone around her to be just as angry at the injustices that we were suffering. Guys, that was everything for my mental health. I literally went to therapy on Wednesday. I was like, let me tell you, that game was a blessing because I was at least able to channel so much of that helplessness that I had been feeling over the course of the last 48 hours, and let's be honest, the last X amount of months, and be able to put that somewhere constructively. And one of my favorite parts about actually embodying that character. So let's jump in. Now that you kind of know who we are, what we did, and our characters, let's hit some of these backer questions, guys. First one, what would you say is the easiest and the hardest part of doing this particular LARP? Open floor. Blood's in the water. Tear at it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ernest.
I think that for a lot of people, the hardest part can be showing up. That's not my hardest part, but because I'll go almost anywhere, right? But like I think that if you are new and you don't have a lot of experience with that, and maybe you are on the more introverted side, those people do go to LARP, and they have awesome character stories and awesome interactions. But I think that the hardest part to anything can be committing to showing up.
Well said. Well said. Okay. Well said. One of the, let me make sure because I want to honor the backer. Okay, so if that's one of the hardest parts, what would you say is one of the easiest parts of doing a game in this type of environment?
Just yes-anding, because people do that every day, just kind of get through life. You get like, a life is, people talk about, oh, improv's bad, but improv mimics life so much because there's a lot of times you have to yes and just to get a job. There's so many times you have to yes and to, get what you want, to get your bills paid, to do whatever. So what if you can yes and with next to no consequences?
Ooh, well said. Well said. Lamar, how about your easiest and hardest parts? And I can't wait to hear your perspective, especially as a brand new LARPer. Shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I will say, with my I have imposter syndrome. With my talent to make friends and integrate into almost any community, I will say that this was one of the easier communities just to integrate and interact with, because there's no competition really. And that people want to tell a story together. And so there was very little moments that I ever felt like I'm butting heads with somebody in reality.
Yeah.
Which is very good because the basics of this type of LARP is conflict, especially political conflict and causing problems for others.
Yeah.
I will say that it's very easy to do that with this particular group of people. I will say the hardest thing, and I'm saying this as a newbie, someone who's brand new, I honestly didn't know what the hell was going on for half of the game.
Yeah.
There seems to be storylines that were happening that I was not aware of. There were connections that were already established that I was not aware of. There were things happening as a part of the overall event that I just did not know. I didn't know when the factions were meeting up and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of these things that come from organization of an event that sometimes you have to know somebody who knows somebody in order to get. And so that can get a little daunting if you are fresh into it. Which is one of the reasons why I'm looking at what my issues were as a person who's been to 15 conventions.
Yeah.
And I want to reach out to By Night Studios and say, hey, these are the things you might want to integrate into your newbie program, because LA is going to have a crap ton of newbies, because we're nothing but cosplayers and D&D players and LARPers here.
Yeah.
You're going to need to have some type of hand holding position somewhere. So that would be my hardest thing. It's just knowing what is actually going on.
Good articulation, babe. And that's amazing that you're willing to provide that type of feedback for like, hey, new player onboarding opportunities to buy nights. That's super dope. And as approachable as they are, they metabolize so much feedback. And this is my first event. I've already heard them say, well, it didn't work in Chicago. Like the amount of times I heard Jimmy say, it didn't work here, so we changed it for here. Or this was really popular, so we did it here. Like they're very sensitive to the feedback on their community. And I think that speaks a lot to their willingness to provide a service for their customers. And then also just the humility and storytelling where they'll be like, yeah, that didn't work out great, but here's how we can fix it. Do you have any idea? And I think that's good leadership across the board. Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about Lamar, this is amazing. Literally, my very next question is Darkness Emergence accessible for new LARPers? And, what are ways that we can discuss how that happened? So this would be another one it's a perfect tie on to where you already were. Would you say Darkness Emergent is accessible for people who are new to LARP or new to Vampire?
Yes, but I believe Darkness Emergent is accessible if you are willing to be uncomfortable.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah, I will say, and I mean this with all the love and affection. Again, there's not a lot of hand-holding in this event because these people are experienced. This is the deep end of the pool. Mm-hmm. If you don't know how to swim, will you survive in 10 foot deep? If you know how to float, yes. If you don't know how to float, you're going to struggle. I'm a person who knows how to float in the pool. I might not be the best swimmer, but I can float.
Yeah. Can
it be? Yes. It's absolutely in there with a small few things. What I will say is don't go by yourself. Have some friends who are experienced and stuff like that. And if you're introverted, definitely latch yourself to an extrovert who will drive you out. It needs a sire program, really. And
that's a whole interesting sub-story.
Yeah, you need a sire program there because there's so much to it. And the last thing I will say is I had it in the top of my head. What was it? Oh! You need to let go of the tabletop game before you get to Darkness Emergent.
Let it go.
All of it. You have to let it go. The only things you can keep, lore and the general responsibilities of each clan, what they generally do, but
let it go.
Attributes are more important than powers. That's the number one thing that I wish I knew before I created my character, because I created a tabletop character.
And they don't walk the same, honey.
All comes with the idea that, yes, it is, but there's caveats, but I believe it can get there.
Well said. Okay. I'm going to have some fun pushback for you after I go after Ernest and Lamar, because I agree with you and disagree with you, but it's interesting because we're coming from two very different perspectives. Mm-hmm. And I love the validity of both. Ernest, talk to us, baby. Do you think DE is accessible to new players? Or do you think it's accessible to new LARPers?
That's an interesting question because I'm old.
Great value, honey.
But I think that there are places where it could be more accessible. I think that so if you were coming in Chicago, and they took this feedback exceptionally well. When you came in Chicago, there was so much going on. It was so nutritionally dense with narrative, right?
Good word
choice. Sometimes you were just, you were too full of a thing, and it was really really one night to get anything done. One big night anyway. So when you're looking at that as from a newbie perspective, it's like, how do I walk in here into this vast ocean of narrative goings on and make my own mark and feel special enough to want to come back?
Yeah.
So they expanded that to a 2-night thing in Vegas. There were 2 solid nights of LARP going on that gave plot room to breathe, that gave characters room to breathe. It gave everybody enough time, because sometimes these people were also playing this character for the very first time. So it gave you at least another night to figure out who you were, what you were about, and what you wanted to latch yourself onto.
Well said.
Or breathe a bit with what you had latched onto from night one.
Yeah.
So that was a good way to up the accessibility. But I do agree that there could be something like a sire program. Now, if you are a member of the Discord for Bar Night Studios Discord for Darkness Emergent,
I was getting ready to say it. Yep.
There is a character tie section in there where you can reach out and say, "Hey, I knew I want to make a tie to my character," and tie yourself to somebody who's maybe a bit more experienced, or a bunch of new people can get together and says, "We're going to be a big new mob."
Yeah.
But if you are at an event, and I plan on being in LA. If you are at an event and you see me, I will help you. Bar none.
Same.
Like, I will, if you see me, I will drop whatever nonsense Jimmy has told me to help you.
The nonsense be so good too. Jimmy can write his ass off.
Yeah, it'll be good nonsense, but I will drop it on the dime to come help you, because that's important to me.
Yeah. Oh, well said. I just wrote this into the chat. I love the fact that I have a veteran LARPer and a brand new LARPer, and they're both people of color that are coming at each other from the same experience. It's absolutely stunning. So this is my response to, do I believe Darkness Emergent is accessible for new LARPers? Yes, but it could be better. As they continue to grow and move forward, there are going to be I love the Sire opt-in program. That's absolutely delicious. They have tools that are embedded into the experience, but just like any tool, a phone is a phone. A phone doesn't do shit unless you know how to work the tool, unless you're willing to pick up the tool, unless you're willing to learn the tool. So to Ernest's delicious point, they have a Discord with a whole damn section that says character tie-in. So if you're just like, I don't know, you can wander in there and be like, I'm playing a Ventru that has an attitude about life, and I would love character tie-ins. And then suddenly you can get mauled, and then you could be some girl sitting in Ohio, show up in LA, and suddenly you have a coterie. You could be having these scenes, in your private emails, or you can be developing these relationships. But again, that's a tool that's available that you need to know is available, and you need to know to interact with it, and that can help bridge that gap. So because I work in the industry professionally, and I write games, and I want to start publishing LARPs, there was a lot of me watching how Jimmy and the other storytellers moved to be like, this worked, that didn't work, I could duplicate that, I could do that better, I didn't even know that could be done this well. There are two examples I want to point out on situations where it was very accessible to new LARPers. So, and this is going to be where I disagree with LemarTheConGuy, but I can tie it into Ernest. Lamar made the statement that he wouldn't recommend going alone. Based on his experience, valid as shit. I would say you're completely okay to go alone, but use the tools, or go find a storyteller and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me? And watch how fast doors open for you. But that requires you to actually advocate for yourself and your experience to get those moments happening. If you can't, here are two examples that I saw with Jimmy and the other storytellers that helped with onboarding new players. One, at some point during Saturday, Jimmy was like, hey, here's your plot. Go find 5 to 6 people to go and negotiate this thing for urban planning. Lamar, this is the one that you were the lead guy on in that one scene. You did so well with that.
I love that event so much.
That event was so good. Oh my God. Wait, I have it right. By the way, guys, Jimmy gives you so much fucking information. It's amazing. So anyways, the urban planning event, which is like a multi-page packet, he basically told the seconds, go out and find you 5, 6, 7 people to be on this team to advocate for one of the 3 leaders of the factions. Go find a wallflower, or go find somebody playing on their phone, go pull some people in. Oh, don't threaten me with a good time. That's that shit I'm about. So you know what I did? I walked around. I was like, who's on their phone? Who doesn't look like they're engaging? Who doesn't look like they're involved? And I picked all of those people. And then I set a couple ringers because I knew I had a couple strong players that would help hold that experience. And I pulled in people that were on their phones or were hugging walls or that I knew hadn't been like super aggressive into the story. Great way to pull them in. Had a beautiful scene. I will talk about that scene during my favorite scenes. That was one thing. The second thing that happened, and this goes back to advocating for your experience, there was a player at the event that walked up to me as the NPC out of character and made the statement to me, hey, I am really big fans of London, Alec, and Cynthia, but I'm super intimidated to approach them. What do I do? So I went, hold on. I tell you what. Here's a positive metagame the shit out of this. I said, here's a boon for me because they gave me little boon cards. I said, here's a boon for me. Call that boon in on me tomorrow and tell me that for that boon, you want a personal introduction to each of the city's leaders, and I'll knock that out for you tomorrow. They went great. I went great. On Saturday, they ran right up to me and it was like, here's my boon. I want a meeting with each of these 3 leaders. What Bridgett had done is during the pre-briefing, I walked up to all 3 of the leaders. I said, guys, I have a nervous player that wants to meet you guys. When you see me come up and say, hey, I'm activating a boon, press station has been called. Can you give them a minute? They're like, oh, yeah, that sounds, yeah, advocate for your experiences. I know it's terrifying to walk up to somebody and say, I'm scared, or I'm vulnerable, or I'm confused. But these type of experiences are, one, they're paid experiences. So you're expecting a certain level of quality, which means the people that are putting it on are ready to give that to you. Advocate for yourselves and ask for help if you need it. The opportunities are there. Ernest just flat out said, you can walk up to me and say, I need something, and he's going to take it and run. Walk up to a storyteller, walk up to an NPC, or use the tools that are available. That's my rant. Thanks for coming.
I do want to dovetail on the accessibility part because we had a new player in Chicago that showed up in the middle of night, at the beginning of night, because there's a pre-event for most of these Darkness Emergent LARPs for VIP people.
Yep.
And we played at the Chisel and Lounge for the VIP event, and a young woman who was at the art studio, because it's a big art studio is what it is. And this young woman kind of came downstairs, kind of quiet as a church mouse, and she was sketching. And she said, "Hey, can I watch and sketch you guys?" And then I stopped whatever I was doing. I sat down. And she really wanted to know like what was going on. And I said,
yeah.
Well, this is what we're doing. This is what it is. And she thought it was so cool, and that somebody would take the time out to talk to her. And she said, well, could I play? And I said, well, sure, but let's find you some people to rally around you so you feel good about that. So she was an artist. She wanted to draw. So I went out and I found some of the chattiest Toreador I could find on the floor. And
that
said,
would do it.
You just call them a Toreador. It's the same thing.
This person wants to play tomorrow night. We're going to get their entry fee covered and they want to play. So this is now your baby chick.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well done, Ernest. Well done. And I'm sure she had an absolute blast because somebody took a moment to go like, yep, we can get that connective tissue for you.
Yep, she had a blast. She came to game, she drew, and she hung out for the little click we gave her, and that was great.
Yeah, that feeds back into my first mentioning of that this is a very engaging community. They will help you real quick. Yeah. Which is fantastic.
Yeah. Congratulations to By Night Studios for being able to build a community like that. Because that takes a lot of intentionality and policing on your guys' end. So well done on that one. Okay. I'm looking at the time. I should have scheduled this for a 90-minute, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip a couple questions and I'm going to jump out to one that I'm really excited to hear. Can you give us one or two of your most memorable in-character moments? Yeah.
I know my two automatically.
Let's go.
Elizabeth Dimitros, which was played by Cynthia Marie, had kind of a open seating kindred affairs thing, and it was the first time that my character got to address a room for what my character created a whole thing. He wants to make sure we don't hunt those without homes, and so he actually stood up and said no hunting in the sewers and stuff like that. And I did it all in character and stuff like that. I averted my gaze and things like that because I was playing Malkavian. I have to be a little fishy. And it was great because those there who were playing, I think Hekata and Nos, were like, hey, so Cap. It was great having to go back and forth with them. And that actually expanded the personal storyline that I created for myself. And like, the Nos were like, half of the Nos were with me, half of them were like actively fighting against me. My character got a wraith from somebody to go help fight the problem. Yeah, he's not a smart man. He's just very passionate. But that also was the moment that like I finally settled and locked in. Like, this is LARP.
Oh,
because before I was still having moments of what the hell do I do? So many things are happening. Yeah. But that was the first moment that my character felt like he had presence. And the second one, not to steal what you had, was the urban planning event where my character got to lead for Dimitros because, again, that character is ahead of Mortal Affairs.
Mortal Affairs, yeah.
Mortal Affairs. And Matthias is all about Mortal Affairs. And for the 2 rounds he was in charge, I think he did very well. And
I thought he did too.
He was able to get everyone to rally behind him, and he was able to steal a few points himself in the middle of all that. But again, Matthias will not lie. The group wanted to do a subterfuge, so they decided to switch him out because he will not lie. And things went to shit as soon as that happened.
Yeah, it did.
Amazing. Went shit as soon as he left. So great. And then, but that was just another moment. If the first one was where I'm now in LARP, the second one is I am now in the community. And so,
oh, honey, you said that.
I'm already planning for LA. I know normally I work other things during that weekend, but F them, I have to come to.
You gotta go. Oh, It gets into your veins, honey, and it runs through your whole damn system. Fast. Ernest, 2 of your most memorable in-character moments.
So I enjoyed a lot of the moments, just kind of standing behind menacingly behind Elizabeth a lot of the nights. But I also love getting into nonsense with any brouhaha, because it seems like there's just a through line of brouhaha who swear up and down they hate my character, but they're like, I hate that guy. But it's like, meh. But I got into a stupid love triangle somehow in character, and I'm not even sure how it happened.
You was like, listen, but it happened.
A player walked by and they were playing Nosferatu, and they talked about their lack of like personal beauty, and I encouraged them and said, well, you can be beautiful on the inside.
Here we go.
You can be a wonderful person. You can be exactly who you think you are, and that set off something that I didn't realize at the time. That night, that was night 1. Or night 2 if you were VIP, where this person decided that I was a beautiful and fabulous and some kind of golden beloved god or something, and they followed me almost the rest of the night after I told them that.
Shut the front door.
And they were willing to kill on my behalf, and it was very and it was like, man, I am playing with fire. I have this big old fireball, and the problem is that if I don't play with it right, it will blow me up too. But it also made me in character missing for some of my duties, which was the point, to create drama.
Right.
But night 2, Elizabeth says, "Where have you been?
Oh.
If you love me, you will take this person's heart, because this Nosferatu just rolled into meetings yelling at people because I was there." And
this is so good. Oh, it's so good. Oh, and I love Cynthia so much. Oh.
Yeah, she's like, well, you if you want to prove yourself, you will take her heart, and that's that. So from that inflection point, I spent the night trying to do my duties while keeping this Nosferatu away from Cynthia, while keeping Cynthia away from the Nosferatu, because I don't want anybody to necessarily murder anybody else unless I need that to happen.
Right. Ooh, Cynthia can tell a story, honey. Let me tell you. Damn.
So I'm stuck here between this rock and the hard place, just trying to figure out how to keep people from murdering each other. I end up having to tell the Nosferatu off, and they ran away crying. They were trying to marry my character away into some cult. So I mean, maybe I got out, lucky. Maybe. Honestly, maybe. But that character. Who in the hell? Yes, it's called lying. We invented it in Cleveland. Thank you, Daddy.
Oh God. Oh.
This is why, Eldridge Daddy. Yes, if you told me you murdered her, yes, lying. It was invented in Cleveland.
Yeah, it was invented in Cleveland, honey. You heard it here.
Yeah. So it was a good time.
It's so good. That's amazing. I love that you inspired somebody so hard that they dedicated themselves to following you around for an entire night. That is delicious. That's well done to that player. That's good role play. Quick and fast, 2 of my favorite moments. At some point, so backstory here. At this point in this universe of World of Darkness, Theo Bell murdered the shit out of Hardestat, which is a Ventrue elder. And this is like, and then all the Brujah defected from the Camarilla and went Anarch. So there's a lot of very upset Ventrue running around. There were a lot of upset Ventrue running around at this event. So at some point there was an open court at the Elder ticket only. And this one Ventrue basically, did this big public challenge to London and was talking shit about, you killed my Elder or whatever. And London reached into his pocket, pulled out 2 empty shotgun shells, the shotgun shells that he killed this vampire with, and threw them at this character's feet. One mic drop moment. London, you did that. You licked that whole plate clean. You left nothing for the dishwasher on that one. So what Bridget's ass did is I picked up those shotgun shells, and at some point that same Ventrue and I got into like a weird pissing contest where we're shouldering of each other. So I waited like 10 minutes. I approached that Ventrue again. I asked for quick out of character permission to touch him. He said yes. So I went back to where I was and I approached him. I got super close to him and I literally shouldered around his entire body and dropped the shotgun shell into his jacket pocket, gave it a pat and walked away from it. Thank you. The names that character called me in character as I walked away were worth absolutely everything. Fucking angry Brujah. Next thing. I don't know what happened, but me and Prince Aurelius decided we were just going to antagonize each other the entire event. Non-stop. It got to the point where, like, if I saw him walk by, I was just like, how can I fuck with him in this moment? It's just, he's such a delicious role player, and that character, you just want to claw at it. So at some point, we got into an argument over nothing. It was something dumb. He put my finger in my face and was like, and that's why he either did the you people or the some, he put his finger in his face. And my character's like, you put that finger in my face again, I'm going to fucking break it. His smart ass decides to do one of these. I understand what you just said, but what I'm going to do is he put, I mean, the finger wasn't in my face, but I was a Brujah and pissed. So I broke his finger in game. The character's finger. I broke his finger. Yep. And somehow in Anarch territory, you can break the finger of a prince and not immediately die, because what are you really gonna do? And he took it so well, and I took it so well. It was just one of those most delicious things. Like the following night, I was having a conversation with one of his children, and I was like, oh no, I really hate him. He has a punchable face. Every time I look at his face, I don't have fun, and I broke his finger last night. And he's like, yeah, that was a thing. And then we all kind of moved on. So, guys, these are just 2 of our favorite moments. Think about that for like 2.5 days. Okay. Which plots were your favorites, guys? What plots that rolled out from the storytellers were your favorite? I'm super interested to hear this, especially from Ernest, because Ernest, you were an NPC, so you got background on the plots. Dying to hear this from Lamar, because Lamar, you had made a statement earlier that there were so many plots going around, you didn't sure, what your fingers were in. What were some of your favorite plots that rolled out for this event?
The Sabbat defectors.
Honey, talk about them. Let's talk about them.
Hell of a moment, because I was lucky enough to have an Elder ticket, so I got to do the soft LARP on day 1 in both the big ones, 2 and 3. And it seems like these characters were like, why are you being antagonistic and begging at the same time? And the people who played them were just so good at it.
They were so good.
Awesome. And then I got to see the final moment, the last day, where there was a court where everyone voted should they be allowed into the Anarch, and they voted yes. And my character, who actually interacted with them and asked questions and gave premonition, said, no, you should not be here. You're a defector. You're going to lie once, you'll lie again.
Yep.
But my character's Cam, so who cares what he has to think? But that was my favorite, overarching story that was happening. One of the many that were going on.
The Sabbat story went so hard, and those 3 NPCs were just... They fell off the bone the whole weekend, honey. They were so succulent.
One of them was testing Theo Bell and made a friend of mine who was also playing a monk slap Theo. Which was such a great moment, because we had to have this moment of like, what happened? Did Malkoff make you do this, or did you do this?
Oh, God, it was so good. Oh, and she was playing a character that was on Theo Bell's like intimate inner circle team too. Oh, she role play her ass by, like, just total side note. So at some point I walked up and the 3 ladies were all gathered. Theo Bell's team was together. And the player's embodiment was so good because she was shaking with one hand and it was the hand that had slapped Theo. Oh, Ernest, favorite plots?
My favorite plots. I would say that my favorite plots, one, the urban planning, because you don't like peek behind the curtain. Like Jimmy is like a business school wizard, right? Like the man like has a brain for business that
Damn sure does.
I love and appreciate. So when he talks about a negotiation or breaking things down into points or doing a training or anything like that, like he's probably done something like this in his life. Right? So it's like, or he's done it at least to teach something, or he's done it to like the way he can cross apply his business acumen into building out plot for an event.
Stunning.
Fantastic. I love it.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So the urban planning one was fantastic. And, and I won't call it an official game plot, but I do want to shout out to Desert of Shadows because almost their entire game, they're a local LARP, local to Vegas, and almost their entire LARP showed up.
They came in strong.
They came in strong.
They
all
came in
showed
deep.
up. They had their own backstories. They had their own plot. They had their own internal consistency from wherever they were from.
Yep.
And while that wasn't something written by the storytellers, the fact that an entire troupe could show up and bring that internal consistency in such a way that all of their characters felt more real and tangible. It was great to see.
Well said. Oh, well said. Well said. Urban planning was another one of my absolute favorites. That was beautiful to watch. I won't echo too much because Lamar already said it. The entire Sabat running around all weekend, they were just like, fuck me sideways. I had so much fun messing around with them. Their final trial, where there were like litigators that were appointed to make a defense, in favor or away. Oh God, Theo Bell, fucking London, dropping down onto his knees and reaching out to the Sabat, kneeling before them, talking about redemption. My character was ready to decapitate him, but Bridgett was just like, this is performance. Like this is real life theater happening in front of me right now. Absolutely amazing. A couple other plots that I will mention that weren't here. There was the old lady knittings plot. 11th hour of the second night, somewhere in a corner, there's 3 little old ladies knitting. These heifers were knitting with vampire stakes. Big ass wooden stakes, and they're just da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, talking about greens in the kitchen and how one of their sons went missing and they really need these vampires to stop eating the children in Las Vegas. And at some point it turned into this thing like, who are y'all? All of them are human. All of them know what vampires are, and they just happened to be in the room, and they posted up to watch what was happening on. They were baby hunters in the making, all with actual wooden knitting sticks that were vampire stakes. Absolutely succulent. That was delicious.
That's amazing.
Oh, so good. All 3 of the leaders, so we're talking about Dimitros, Theo Bell, and then what was Ward's character? Cherney, all hosted salons. And on Saturday, Jimmy, if you're watching this, I want you to know something right now. I did not steal a fan. I waited until the second day and I pulled one out of the box, just so you know. Let's look at these fans that they made for the players, guys. I don't know if you can see these well, but these are fans that are branded with By Night Studios, and they say agree or dissent. So if you've got 200 people in a room or 40 people in a salon and somebody makes a statement, you could raise your fan and go, oh, I agree with this. Or you could raise your fan and say, oh, I disagree with this. And that was just an amazing, beautiful prop that was handed out. I have a couple more props just to show you guys. Another one of my favorite plots was the pancration, which I won't get into it. If you're a Bruja, you know it. If not, go to somebody's Google. But it was this sub-mini game that they wrote where at any point, if you had one of these bracelets on, you could participate in pancration, which is like an old Bruja formulated, not a ritual, but like a competition. You could just roll up and swing on somebody. As long as they had a bracelet, you could go to break their nose. You throw your quick chops, and if you win, you get their bracelet. And the person with the most bracelets at the end of the event got a special prize from Theo Bell. I bet I got swung on 20 times. And they're not big mass combats. If you're in the middle of having a conversation, I was like, no. And I hate the venture because, blah, who just hit me? Was it you? Let's throw these chops. Here's your damn bracelet. Get out of my face. So... Absolutely stunning. Also, guys, fan moment is at the end when it was like who had the most pancration bracelets, and a Camarilla citizen tied with an anarch.
Let's go, Cam! Let's
Oh
go, Cam!
my God. Oh my God. Oh God. And London walked up to the Camarilla and it was like, I can't offer you a seat at my table like I can, but what I can offer you are the keys to your freedom. You can leave the Camarilla and join the Anarch mode. I could have died. I love people who tell good stories. This is absolutely a minute. Okay, guys, we are technically at time. I'm going to stretch us 10 more minutes and then we are going to get out of here, which brings me to, we need to do the thirst trap and I've got a couple more questions. So first rapid fire or last penultimate rapid fire question for you guys. Are the Elder Plus tickets worth the money? Let's have that conversation and transparency right now.
Yes, if anything for the soft LARP on day 0, I guess it technically would be.
Yep.
That really was good toe dipping things because it was low stakes.
Yep.
You can go in and out really fast, and that made me very happy. So if you're a newbie, something like a soft LARP day 0 thing, really helpful.
I'm going to absolutely second that as somebody who didn't pay for that ticket, but was a part of that experience. It was originally labeled to me as come do a meet and greet with the 3 leaders of Las Vegas. I thought it was going to be like a meet and greet. That bitch was a whole game. It was 4 hours of soft role play with plot that rolled out in a court. So it was, in my opinion, if I had the discretionary income, the Elder Plus tickets are 100% worth it because you get FaceTime with the big influencers or the big NPCs. You get a jump start on the plot and you can start diving into your character a whole day earlier with fewer people. So versus getting hit with 200 and going like, whoa, you can onboard with like 40 or 50 and then get some real intimate face-to-face time. I think it's worth the money if you got it. Ernest?
I will agree that it is worth the money if you have the discretionary income. Do not break yourself to get this ticket. If you just showing up at the door with the ancillary ticket is enough. If people are around to help you and they are around to help facilitate a good time for you. But if you do have the discretionary income to pay for an Elder Plus ticket, then absolutely go ahead and do that. Agreed.
Well said. I'll end off on this question, and then we'll run to our thirst trap, do the giveaway, and we'll end it up. You guys, what recommendations would you offer to someone looking to participate in Las Vegas? And just really fast before we answer, guys, again, nope, I don't want that one. I want this one. Darkness Emergent, Las Vegas. This bad boy is coming. Not Las Vegas. Darkness Emergent, Los Angeles is coming Memorial Day weekend, 2025. Tickets are actually on sale now. There should be a bot in the background giving you guys tickets to that. So let's say you guys got new people who want to try out Darkness Emergent in Los Angeles. What would be your recommendations for them?
Go to the morning panels. Go to the morning panels because they actually did have a LARP 101 panel that taught me all the hand signals that I did not know before going. Go to the morning panels and talk to people out of character. That's the 2 things I will say.
Well said. Ernest, what recommendations would you have? Somebody's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and check out LA. You'd be like, good, blah, blah, blah.
So as an older LARP player, I understand that sometimes, you are paying for a vacation. And here's a note. Everything big happens at night. Like, the panels are great to go to. The panels are a great, supplement to your day. If you are picking up fangs or other things, like, great. But remember that you are in a city that you might not live in.
Yeah.
And balance out your LARP time with seeing the city you live in a little bit if you can. Because that was always my plan. Because I was like, well, I'm here for the LARPs. The LARPs happen at night. That means I can get up in the morning. I can just go out, explore the city, go do something, and then come back and come do my thing.
Well said. Someone in chat just mentioned this one. And chat, can somebody throw the By Night Studios Discord link in there? My personal recommendations, I'm going to echo chat, join that Discord. That's a great way to connect with other people in character, out of character, to get your character ties together. By Night Studios has a pipeline where if you don't even feel like creating your own character, you can send a concept to somebody else and they'll spit you out a character sheet. Like, who does that? Like, that's an amazing opportunity. I went onto the server and just like, I'm going to be wearing a corset and my fat ass doesn't know how to get into one by myself. Can anybody tie a corset around me? it's a good community to connect with, to get that connective tissue started. The other thing I'm gonna say for, hey, you're brand new and you wanna join the Darkness Emergent, advocate for your experience. You know what you want out of this experience. And if you don't know, you'll learn on the way. But make sure that you're advocating for not only your safeties and your boundaries, but make sure you're advocating for your experience. So be that player that is comfortable enough to walk up to an NPC and is like, I'm too shy to go talk to so-and-so. Can you help me? Be that player to be able to walk up to a storyteller, which another thing they did really well. And Ernest, I wish One World Night would just fucking do this. All the storytellers were easily identifiable by wearing a bright red vest. So at any point, you could just look around and be like, oh, there's a red vest. Let me go holler at them if I have a question or a concern or I need, blah, 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 blah. Don't be afraid to walk up to a red vest and be like, hey, I need this. Advocate for your experience. You'd be really surprised. Closed mouths don't get fed. Advocate for your experience. All right, guys, before we do this giveaway, let's talk about some thirst. Now, if you're new to the Symphony is extremely thirsty. We flirt on each other, we hit on each other, we bite each other, we smack each other's ass, and we're pretty unapologetic about it. Lamar knows. Ernest knows too. Ernest is a backer. He's been to our Thirst Only Backer channel. It's all
I found out.
You found out. Symphony is very thirsty. So I have a video collage coming up right now of some thirsty images of the three of us. And what I would love to do while this collage is running, guys, let's rapid fire some praise for the team, storylines. Let's thirst on each other and thirst on Darkness Emergence. The slide is up running now. I'm just going to jump out right now. The audacity for you to walk through that game, Ernest, in that white suit. I could have licked that entire plate clean. I hate you.
Why were you so fire for 3 days? Like, every time I saw you, I'm like, I need to step up my game. What is happening? Why are you so much fire, Ernest? Teach me your ways. It was sharp as a tack, my man.
We can always go shopping. Like, now I'm down. We can go. You live in LA?
Yeah, I'm in LA.
We'll go shopping.
Please, because you was attacked the entire time.
You were so delicious. I don't know where the hell Cynthia goes shopping, but the way Cynthia dressed every single damn night of it, and that, listen, the one that's up right now, that blue jogging suit that had the Cynthia was so delicious to look at. There were moments where I was just like, I need to stop staring at this woman. I know she's comfortable with me staring at her, but every time you walk by, you're just like, oh.
That woman came out with 4 looks. It was wild.
Oh, 2 on the same night.
Yeah, I was in a messenger chat with Cynthia and the crew before the game, and we talked about these looks a lot. Like,
ooh. Cynthia Slate. Random thirst going to London. London is one of the sweetest things this side of the Mississippi. And London was embodying one of the scariest brouhaha in World of Darkness history. And
second angriest brother in World of Darkness.
And somehow stuck the landing through theater. And I just think that's dope.
That was so great. It was so great. And projected so I can hear him. London.
Toes are curling. Wait, say it again. Yes, he definitely projected. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Another Bridgett. Shout out, Lamar. I am thirsting over the fact that you, as a brand new player, jumped into the deep end. And not only did you jump into the deep end, you was like, fuck it, I'm going to swim. You acting as a project leader in that urban planning scene had me biting my fingers in just pure pride and joy of you. I am genuinely proud for you for that one, baby.
Thank you very much. I brought a lot of math. I think the math is what really made everyone really laugh.
A lot of people I hear weren't ready for actual math, and you brought the math.
You just gotta crank up the ADHD to 10 sometimes. That's all you gotta do.
And go. Ward landed fucking Willy Wonka so hard, I hate it. Ward was like a creepy, sinister Willy Wonka the entire night with Cherney, and it was just so unsettling to walk all the way down to his body language. Was just like, you unsettling thing, you better perform your ass off.
There was something Kafka-esque about his performance. Like, is this man going to turn into a bug? I think he might. Not sure, but it might happen.
I felt so bad that Alex was playing a Tzimitzi because my character's terrified of Tzimitzi, so I wasn't able to interact with him. But if anyone was gonna play goddamn Tzimitzi, Best.
Woo! I'm gonna thirst on the storytellers right now. I don't know how the hell y'all did that for 3 days straight. I understand y'all put a lot of planning in it, but to be live on the ground with 200 people running up on you going, I need this, I need this, I need clarity here. I don't know how Jimmy didn't snap at people the entire goddamn weekend, because that would have been me. At one point, I was like, you got to give me 10 minutes. Like, let me breathe. No, he was accessible. He was approachable. He was doing debriefings on all of these different plots. Thirst and shout out to the storytellers that had the patience and the passion to get this off as well as they did.
Yeah, Jimmy has finally learned the ancient art of delegation. So that's
So proud of him.
so
proud
that's
of Jimmy for
a
letting
big
go.
one. That's a big one.
Bridgett, can I just say a true thirst? Out of character, you were distracting as shit. In character, you were distracting as shit. I just want to say, I was like, I'm supposed to be terrified, but I want hugs. I want hugs for completely innocent, God-fearing reasons. Because you were out there so just blessed.
Innocent, God-fearing reason. Okay, cool.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, apparently Bridgett was bothered by my second night tie all weekend.
Why did this dude come out on a sub collar? I was gone. I was with a leash on it. I couldn't.
It was a tie.
No, it wasn't. It was a sub collar, and I loved every goddamn moment of it. Honey, if I could have tied that to my wrist and dog walked you the whole weekend, they would have seen a whole new side of Clan Bruja.
Wrong LARP. Wrong LARP.
Hey, or right LARP.
Or right LARP.
Right LARP.
LA by night.
Yo, By Night Studios after dark.
By Night
Look,
Studios from 1 to 3
I'm just gonna
a.m.
say that there is that VTM has probably one of the spiciest novels written for if you I will not mention the name here, but they wrote a very spicy novel about a Sombra and a Zamisi. So you just take it with that what you will.
Listen, y'all ain't gonna tell me that there's not a direct overlap between the queer community, the poly community, the LARP community, the tabletop role-playing community, and the kink community.
Circle.
They're the same
It's
goddamn
a
circle. I don't care.
It's a circle.
You not gonna tell me we're not all the same community with like a little bit of an outlier.
There's the smallest smidgen of out.
I mean, on the corners, like just barely.
0.0005.
We all got safety tools.
And those
We're
are the
all
people
doing
who think everything
scenes.
that was in the green book was fine.
Listen, and you ain't gonna tell me that sex and horror don't go side by side, guys. I absolutely love it. Okay,
I'm gonna bring a water bottle next time.
honey, because the costuming. Yo, God, Darkness Emergence is a thirst trap. Okay,
I'm never making a celibate character again. Never.
That ain't worth it. Don't even try it. That ain't for you.
I did. It was rough.
All right, guys. Ooh, good for you. RX Oliver, baby. If you are still here, you are the winner of the Torpor Dice from Black Oak Games. RX Oliver, I don't think you're a backer. If you are, hold on, my Zoom freeze. There we go. I don't think you're a backer, but did the whole thing freeze? It's Symphony. Go figure, something broke. Hold on, guys. I think of course. Whatever, they can still hear us. The world is going to move on. I don't care. Guys, if you can hear us, this is the Symphony. Something broke in the 11th hour, so that absolutely works for us. RX Oliver, if you are still here, message me on the Discord and let me get your address and I will ship these dice to you. Everyone else, thank you so much for joining. I genuinely appreciate you guys spending time with us. It looks like we're back. Yay. Something caught back up. So thank you so much for spending time with us. If you enjoyed this content and you would like to help me make more of it, please consider backing us on Patreon. This is going to be patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. To these delicious Black men who are on this show with me right now, Lamar, send us out, baby. Just tell us one more time who you are and where people can find you.
Top of the morning to you, lads. Last is both, neither, and everyone in between. My name is Lamar, aka LemarTheConGuy. I use he, him pronouns. I am a singer, comedian, entertainer. If it gives me attention and money, I will do it. I promise you. I just don't promise to do it well. You can find me online, LemarTheConGuy, on all social medias, LemarTheConGuy.com, linktr.ee /LemarTheConGuy. The next thing I'm doing as I finish my 15th convention this year, January 9th through 12th and 13th, Anime Los Angeles in Long Beach, California. I am a program host for that show. I think I'll be doing most of the game shows, running some comedy stuff, and Family X Family Feud. If you're an anime fan, please fill out the Family Feud questionnaire on my Linktree. I need more data to make people's lives hard.
Hey, Ernest, baby, sign us off, baby. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, some of these delicious things that you do with your delicious ass.
Hey, I'm Ernest. Some places on the internet I'm known as HollowInvective or just Hollow. You can find me mostly on channel Other Doc. I do a lot of guest DMing over there. You can also find me on Start Playing Games. If you want to have a night with me as your DM.
Oh, say it one more time for the people in the back and for me.
Just a night with me as your DM.
Oh God, I'm focused. Did he growl? Lamar, did he just growl?
Just a bit.
Oh,
Just a bit.
I'm distracted. I'm focused. Keep going. Yep, please keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And you can find me on Blue Sky, Twitter, and just all around. Just give me a holler. Find me on Discord. We'll talk.
Whew. Guys, thank you so much for spending time with us. Chat, you guys have been so incredible and supportive and amazing. Again, I'm going to post this flyer one more time. Darkness Emergent Los Angeles is happening Memorial Day weekend. Tickets are already on sale. This is an unforgettable experience that I cannot absolutely recommend enough. If you're LARP curious or if you're an old pro, there's absolutely something here for you. One more time, a massive shout out to the entire NPC cast, especially London, Cynthia, and Alex. You guys were absolutely incredible. Jimmy, this is me looking you in the face and going, thank you so much for the opportunity to being brought onto the team. You guys were absolutely incredible. Guys, it's worth experiencing, but I will tell you this much. If you do your first Darkness Emergent, you might as well start factoring in the experiences into your budget because you're going to want to do another. You're going to want to do another. One more time, Ernest, Lamar, thank you. This is both of your first times on the Symphony. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your damn Saturday afternoon to sit here and spend time with me. I genuinely appreciate it. Chat, you guys are sexy. Darkness Emergent Las Vegas, you guys were amazing. We hope you've enjoyed the Symphony, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Mwah. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. Take care of yourselves. Happy holidays. Stay sane.